All right, hello everyone.
Welcome.
Yeah, to a random stream. Very random. I don't know exactly what we're doing. We're just kind of working in the store. We weren't thinking that it made sense to do anything else.
Yeah, we're kind of out of drawers.
Well-
That's why I'm about to number some more.
Yeah.
So we kind of ran through a list of things that we could potentially do, but we didn't have drawers for any of it. So I'm numbering drawers. That's probably it. It's a very exciting stream today.
Yeah, and I'll be consolidating some of these lots together
Yes.
and maybe adding some pieces. but
Currently
that
watching is Fidel and me on my phone. Thank you, Fidel. Welcome.
Welcome to the stream.
Now we're at 5. Okay.
It's because it's not our normal time, so
Yeah.
it's just not right.
I mean, you had to go and be busy.
I know, I'm sorry.
Okay, so as many of you know, the price of acro mills
It's
skyrocketed.
Yeah.
They're like almost $60 a pop now.
Yeah, I think they're $56.99 or something like that. It's
Nick's
pretty
Adventures says still waiting for my role in Discord. Are you a Patreon? Or sorry, a patron or a seller? Just go ahead and ping me at Paul, and I'll take a look for you.
Fidel says, I will also be labeling drawers in a bit. So let's say hello. We have Fidel, we have Just Bricks, BJH 9900, Steve, Nick's Adventures. Welcome everyone to the stream. If you weren't here with us about a minute and a half ago,
Yes.
it's going to be a very boring stream. Paul's going to number some drawers.
Yes.
And I'm going to consolidate some lots and maybe upload some pieces, and that might be it.
What pieces are you going to upload?
The rest of that bag that Nicholas did last week. Yeah, very eventful day so far. It looks like sorting through my bulk find from today, says Just Bricks. Nice. Nice. I saw your post. It's pretty cool. I am trying to get to Bricklink, and apparently I can't.
Oh no.
Bricklink. Oh, no.
But,
Bricklink.
Yeah, so for those of you who don't know, the price of acro mills has gone up to like almost $60, so
Yeah.
we were very lucky to get these for less than $60. But
They were 30, 39, whatever.
yeah, that's almost half off.
Not quite. But yeah, 39 with crazy. Fidel says, what are you going to do about acro mills now that they're soaring in price like Bitcoin?
I don't know. I told Evan that we should just move all our stuff to Ziploc bags and sell it, but sell them.
Yeah,
but,
yeah. He actually mentioned we should sell all the acros, and you know we would make a lot of money, but we need the acros kind of.
So yeah, I'm not sure what we're gonna do. I've looked at competitors. They all seem to be expensive too. My assumption is it's a supply line issue. I expect they'll go back down, but we couldn't really wait any longer. We needed more drawers, so we bought 4 units.
Yeah. So there's one outside on the porch actually that just got delivered a few minutes ago. This one, and then there's one more coming tomorrow, and then the other one got delayed until like November 2nd to 4th or something. Like there's like a range or something. It's really, it's really sad.
Hello, Gerard. Welcome, and hello, Callum. Fidel says I ordered one just in case, even though I still don't need it.
Yeah, that's what we for a while had. We had a lot in storage that we didn't need yet, and that was the way to do it. So
Yeah.
order them when they were cheap and just buy them and stick them to the side. And I wish we had more that we'd stuck to the side, but I don't know that we ever expected
them to be $60.
No, we didn't. No, definitely not. I never thought they'd jump up like that.
I just really hope that they go back down.
Yeah.
Otherwise,
too.
we're going to be in a bit of a problem.
Yeah, the cost of storing pieces is no longer affordable. Not that it ever really started out truly affordable, but you know, $30 per unit sounded semi-reasonable. And a lot of the time we were getting it for like 24, but now at that $56.99 or whatever it is, it's terrible. So what is that per drawer?
Too much.
That's almost $1 per drawer.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's like 90 cents per drawer, almost.
How much do you think it costs for them to make one of these?
Not 90 cents. Not even close. BrickQuest, welcome to the stream. Callum, welcome to the stream. Gerard, welcome to the stream. You're one of our new patrons, so welcome. Just Brick says, I'm sad I didn't order more. Callum says, it's been so long, can't wait to see more streams. Brick Rehab, welcome to the stream. How are you? Fidel says, I ordered just one more just in case I don't need it. And Just Brick says, I'm nearly out of space for real now. Yeah, we keep saying we're almost out of space, and then we keep making more space.
Yeah.
We actually we can add another 40 drawer units to the garage. At least. That's like comfortably add 40. We could probably add, if we do a whole nother thing, we could probably add almost 120 if we needed to, which would be more than double what we have now.
Gotta make sure I don't damage
Yeah,
the
we should take the dividers
expensive merchandise. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. Just Brick says, I think I could add like 6. Yeah, that's actually very much out of space. So for those of you who don't know, we are still consolidating, but we made the decision a few days ago, I guess. Weeks ago, maybe? A couple weeks now, maybe. We are beginning to mix used pieces in the same side of the drawer.
Where am I starting?
Whatever is at the end of that column. So I think it's like, I don't know, just, here, I can check.
I can see 6255.
62, 64.
Okay,
So 62, 65.
6265. Yes.
6265.
I swear I know
No.
words.
You don't know numbers, though. What was I saying? I was saying something. I don't know what I was saying.
Wait.
No clue. Yeah, I'm not sure. Nice. Brick Rehab said, just finished the yard work. Getting ready to start some sorting. Exciting. Nick's Adventure says, you said the Acromills were 60-something. The 64 drawers currently 46.49. Okay, 46.49. That's good. I mean, it's still not good. On Zorro, which is another place that used to have Acromill, it currently still has Acromills, but on there it is 56.99, I think. I swear on Amazon it was 56.99.
Yeah, I
like
thought it was too. Maybe the price went down a bit.
Maybe it went down again. Yeah, that's good. Either way,
it's too expensive.
yeah, $46.99 is too expensive as well. When the retail price,
Evan,
I'm breaking our expensive merchandise. When the retail price used to be, I think it was $33.95 or something, and you could always get them at a discount, cheaper than that. And then if we bought them used on Amazon, a lot of time we get it for 24. It was like 24 flat. I don't know why that was the price, but that was a normal thing. So 46.49 is a lot, and it's very sad.
yeah.
But yeah, George says, I buy equal to Acromills for about $60 US per drawer. No Acromills in Belgium. Yeah, the units are just expensive everywhere, I think. I think there's a plastic shortage for production, and that's the reason that they're all really expensive. But for Acromills, we were able to, they were significantly cheaper initially.
A long time ago, yeah.
Now they are no longer, which is sad. Ben, welcome to the stream. How are you? We're a little bit early today. Fidel says, I began parting out with brick stock to batch different numbered bags, and it revolutionized the way I work in my store. Yeah, so brick stock's very nice. Yeah, good. I'm glad that, I mean, I guess it didn't really make a difference to me, but it's good that other people are moving into brick store as well.
Yeah.
Because it is definitely useful for sure. Ian, welcome to the stream. Ian says, how do you get the labels printed like that? Sorry if you answers just got in. Oh, I see. So we also, one more thing, BJH9900 says, Paul, do you find that the labels start to come off on the side that sticks to your finger when you put them on that way? I have noticed, I'll come back to you in a second, Ian. I have noticed that it does come off, but I don't think it's peeling off. I think it's just that when Paul puts it on, he doesn't push where his finger, so like this side will be peeled up a tiny bit, and if you push it like that,
I see.
So if you want to do that, you could just double.
I
don't think
practice.
it comes off. We haven't had labels fall off ever. There's a few that have been folded because of the way we stack them sometimes and stuff, but I don't think it comes off. I think it's just a matter of Paul not having stuck them on all the way, or whoever stuck them on. That's the reason it starts to
Always blaming me.
Well, usually. But if you push it down harder, I think, at least for us, it's worked. It looks like Ben says, yes, I find it peels on that side, though. BJ started to notice mine peeling off, so now I use tweezers to take them off the sheet and found it actually is much faster. Huh. Interesting. David West, welcome to the stream. How are you? So, Ian, to answer your question from earlier, I apologize. We use Avery labels. You can go to avery.com or whatever their website is, and somewhere on there's a template thing, and you can either download it or you can, I think you can make it on their sheet, actually, or on their site. You can actually print out barcodes and like numbers on avery.com specifically for those Avery sheets. That is what we have done, sorry, that's what a lot of other people have done. We have not done that. We print them out, I use a spreadsheet, and it makes the sheets and that numbers them automatically and stuff, but then I use a program called BC Studio, Barcode Studio, and I have the trial, and it downloads and it prints out the barcodes on the sheet, and you can also type in the Avery label number or whatever this is, and it all works out, but yeah, I would just recommend going to avery.com and typing in the number, and that's the easiest thing for sure. Fidel says, I just checked, the ones I buy are still at the same price. Might buy another one, bit scared they will also rise up. Yeah, Dunder Mifflin Brickhouse says, Pops just showed another place to buy acros in his vlog. I think it was Zorro, but I'm not sure. I think they were cheaper on Amazon. Zorro, so the thing with Zorro, currently, unless the prices have changed today, because I don't think I've checked today. Maybe that's why.
Maybe everything's finally going back down right after we bought them, just like you were worried about.
Actually, yeah, I am quite concerned that that's going to happen. So, Acro Mills 64 count drawers on Zorro.com. If it loads, currently, oh, okay, they're back to $46.49. That's good. The problem right now is Zorro has a limit of 1 per order, which they didn't used to have. We purchased on Zorro, we purchased on Amazon. Zorro currently says you can only order 1.
Is it address linked?
I don't know.
Account linked?
I don't know, but you have to pay for shipping if you don't spend 75 bucks or something. On Amazon, they are currently, well, this specific listing is $89.99. But if you click on the other listing, it's $46.49 as well. So the price is $46.49 today, it looks like, on both sites, which is nice. On Amazon, the cheapest you can get used is $44.17. Not a significant discount. Almost, I mean, yeah, hopefully they don't go higher than this, but it's good that they're back at 46. They were $56.99 the other day, maybe yesterday, I think, actually. Yeah, so Coyote Crow says that's new, never had a limit before. On Zorro, we have not seen a limit. That's the first time I've seen it. Actually, last night when they had a 56, whatever. With Zorro, though, they almost always have a 15% off or a 20% off coupon you can use, so that makes it worth it when they were at retail price. They're no longer at retail, or I guess this is the new retail, who knows, but hopefully yeah, Zorro was the other one. Exactly, David says they constantly send 20% off coupons. Exactly. David West says, I'm going to die on the hill of Sharpie labeling drawers. I've been watching some of your videos, and it's mind-boggling to me that you write on each individual drawer. That's crazy to me.
Why do you do that instead of...
Yeah,
do you not use barcodes?
Probably not. No.
Wow.
I think I mean, one, it's easy to read, and then two, it's like I think it's probably quicker to stick on a sticker. Not 2 stickers. 2 stickers obviously not quicker than probably writing on a drawer, but I would say sticking 1 sticker on is easier than writing on it, probably, right?
Yeah, but I mean, I go through and do them all. Yeah,
but I don't know. Coyote Crow says, just abandon your cart and they'll send you a coupon. Yes, they will, but not with not with a 1 limit per order. That's very sad. It's not even worth it, actually, because you would pay shipping at that point then. So Amazon right now, until Zorro figures their thing out. Yeah.
David says, bruh, 100% increase in a year. It should have invested in Acro Mills instead of Dogecoin.
Yeah, actually. I don't think you were here. A lot of people weren't here earlier, but we had mentioned, or Paul had mentioned the other day, I think it was yesterday, maybe 2 days ago, we should just sell our entire inventory. Sorry. Sell our acro units.
Yeah.
And then we'd make a ton, which is true, but then we don't have a place. But Dunner Mifflin says, I label drawers by putting one on each finger on my right hand, not my thumb, then grabbing the drawers with my left hand and slapping them on. Haven't had any issues with them starting to peel off. Interesting. David says, that's how I do it, or that's how I did it when I started. No barcodes either. Bless you. Gerard says, prices go up because everyone sorting Lego keeps on buying them. In all honesty, I'm not going to say that's the main cause, but I guarantee that we've played a small factor in that. With everyone buying it.
We've seen that when we buy or we announce that there are used available, the price goes up.
Doug. Doug has, I don't know how many units at this point. Doug from Do2 Bricks. Probably.
He's got to start selling those things at a...
I mean, hundreds.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he just buys them out like crazy. Yeah, I mean, in the Lego community alone, there's probably been thousands that have been sold this year alone. And so, yes, you can't say that we are the main cause, but I guarantee the people sorting Lego into them are part of the cause of it. So, yeah. David says, eventually I'll label over every single one, I think. I do like that you can see the parts with Sharpie. That is true, actually, yeah. You can see through the thing. You can kind of see through it just around the label, but yeah, I could see how seeing through Sharpie would be kind of nice, actually. That is true. Just Bricks also Sharpies. Some drawers are even special. Like 777 is in 3 different colors. Cool.
Awesome.
Cody Crow says, I want to label the back of my drawers, but I want a neon color, barcode, and repeat of the number. We'll have to look at Avery sometime. Yeah, Avery, I mean, there's probably other things out there, but I think for the most part, they're the most readily available, at least in the United States. Yeah. And drawer 626 is just labeled Stitch. That's cool, actually. That's pretty smart. There's a few fun things like that that are kind of cool, actually. I guess you could do that with a label, though.
Yeah,
you could still type it out.
You could. I wanted to put little historical facts in all the drawers that had years that it happened.
Oh, right.
But unfortunately, I was not allowed to do that.
You could print out stickers and stick them on the bottom if you want. If you really
I feel like it would keep some eventual contractors entertained.
Only through 2021.
True.
Can't really go unless you make up future events.
Ooh, that'd be good. Yeah.
You have a lot of events to write. Steve says, I think Ben T and I are keeping the Racco in business in the UK with all the cabinets we bought. Dunham and Bricko also Sharpies lower drawers, so we don't have to bend to read the numbers. Michael Joseph, welcome to the stream. Michael Joseph says, hey guys, when you figure out your cost of goods sold for your taxes, are you claiming all the purchases for the year? It's almost impossible to figure out the actual cost of goods selling parts. Can't really speak on tax things, but we do it monthly, and it's based on what we've purchased for inventory. But I can't give you official guidance, I don't think. It'll be something we're continuing to figure out, I think, forever. Eventually, ideally, you could figure out the cost of goods sold by setting the My Cost field in Bricklink to be accurate. It's just a process to do that, and if you didn't start tracking your costs for pieces when you did it, that makes it significantly harder. So I wish we did. Now to go back and be pretty inaccurate. Very difficult, actually, because we'd have to go back to all the orders, figure out how many parts have sold, and then when you count used into that mix, it gets even more difficult because you can't truly track the exact cost of a piece unless you count how many were in that bin. So it's a whole mess if we try to figure that stuff out. Drawer 747 has a drawing of an airplane.
JB says, then we can see if Paul is as good at The Simpsons at predicting the future.
Yep.
Unfortunately, probably not.
That's true, yeah. Nothing.
The Simpsons is scary.
Scary good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The one that really got me was the Alvin and the Chipmunks releasing on the same day as Star Wars.
They predicted that?
Yeah, they predicted that a new Alvin and Chipmunks movie would release on the same day that Star Wars 7 would, Star Wars 7 would come out. And it did, and
that's the crazy. I mean, there's a lot of crazy ones actually, but yeah. Interesting. So we were going to part out today,
But there's
and
no
then we didn't
drawers.
have drawers. So part of what I'm doing is mixing all the pieces together. Or not mixing them together, but we've renamed. Should we announce our rename? Or it's not official yet?
we're doing reassignments.
Yeah. So for consolidation, there's two. This chair is incredibly squeaky. I don't know if you guys can hear that, but it's horrible.
Right.
But for consolidation, there's a couple things that
Am I being stupid again?
maybe.
I think I'm being stupid again.
For consolidation, there's a couple things that we've done, or that we called consolidation. One of those is at the end of the day, if we have two drawers that are half empty, there's a half on the other side, we will consolidate those into one drawer and reassign the remarks. The other thing is consolidation as in when we're adding stuff to the inventory, which I know a few people disagree with us on. And when we add something, if it goes in 41.99, it'll tell us to put it in 41.99 and we consolidate into there. So we are renaming this type of consolidation where I'm combining things into reassigning. Reassignment or something, which is a little weird, and we just came up with it a couple hours ago.
We had a very intense argument over consolidation versus not consolidation,
Yes.
which happens quite frequently. It's
does.
been a
And-
recurring argument. So.
And then we had to figure out what do we mean by consolidation.
what
we were
usually-
having a discussion, and
we
were
swap
discussing-
positions about halfway through and start arguing on that, and then
Yeah.
come back
Yeah.
and
yeah, but anyway, this is now called reassignment because we're reassigning the drawer. And in theory, when we have more contractors and people involved, that hopefully will just make sense,
yeah.
as opposed to it being like confusing with consolidation versus consolidation, which sound the same, but they're different. So yeah. Mowgli's Bricks, welcome to the stream. How are you? Steve says the problem with the cost field is that it's only accurate at the time of the upload. If you add the same part again from the different part up, then the cost is different unless you create a new lot. Yeah, that's something we never tested, but does it average the two, or does it just update to whatever you change the cost to that piece? Because if you, at that point, if you're not consolidating lots together, I guess you could track it because each lot actually has a different cost. But yeah, so Mowgli's Brick says, isn't it that the my cost field can never quite be accurate because you buy sets with different, yeah, exactly. Part out values are different, and then the parts have different pieces, yeah. Or sorry, the parts have different prices, and yeah, so
you could keep an internal database with part numbers.
that could average it all together.
Yeah,
Although, what part sold? Is it the piece that costs more or the piece that costs less?
that's true.
You'd have to keep like a running tally of what,
Yeah.
which I don't think would be efficient, but
Moglis Bricks says just to do some bookkeeping. Just do some bookkeeping. Yeah, I think that's probably would be the best way to do it. But I don't know. We've had lots of discussions over how to track that kind of stuff, and we've never really arrived at a satisfying way to do it. Right now, we just basically do what Evan said, which is we claim what we've spent on inventory. So. What is everybody doing who is doing something other than just watching the stream?
I have a question. Do you guys just watch the stream? Like, do you just, is that all you're doing right now? Or you, I feel like people have to be doing something else, like with us in the background or something. But maybe not.
Moglis says it's a super annoying task in reference to bookkeeping.
Yeah.
David says he is multitasking.
Good.
Fantastic.
What are you doing when you're,
Fidel says he's focusing on homework. Finishing homework before focusing on Lego stuff.
nice?
Your priorities are wrong. I'm not the best source of life advice. Thunder Mifflin Brickco says, everybody probably already knows this, but Amazon gives 10% back on their credit card for toy purchases, and Lego falls under toys.
They give 10% back? No way. I knew you get 5%. I didn't know toys got. Okay, I have the Amazon, whatever it's called, the Amazon something credit card.
Yeah, but we gotta stop spending.
That is true. We need to slow our spending, but that's interesting. I did not know that.
Let's see, what else is...
Actually, you know what's interesting about that is almost everywhere Lego is excluded from any deals. So if Lego's actually not excluded from the Amazon thing, that's pretty cool.
Gerard says, I use an invoice program to keep track of used and new brick sales and purchases just by price rather than by quantity. Coyote Crow says, either I'm creating listings on eBay or sorting Lego. Mogulus is parting out. Brooke is packing. Brick Rehab is watching football.
You're watching two things. Nice. Just Brick says, I just pulled a minifigure book out of its lot marked as Spooky Tales.
Spooky.
Spooky. Gerard says, about to go to bed as it's 23:30.
We gotta figure out what we're gonna do for Halloween.
Yeah, we do.
Yeah. Well, any suggestions on what to do for Halloween?
Steve says, I'm having a genuine night off from my store, cruising eBay for inventory. Well, is that a night off? Not if you're doing stuff. Nick's Adventure says, setting up equipment and programming shows for Halloween and other productions. Nice. That's pretty cool. Thunderman from Brickco visiting my sister in Phoenix right now, so I can't stay long. No problem.
I will be in Phoenix.
Oh, okay. Dundermouth from Brickco says, for a limited time, 10% back on toys. That makes sense. Maybe they're trying to get people to buy the Christmas, the holiday things now, as opposed to later on. That would make sense, actually. Fidel says, I normally use this time for focusing on my store, maybe cook something and then eat, and then I go do Lego stuff.
A lot more well managed than our lives. Limited time, 10% back. Monkman is playing Tony Hawk's Pro Skater. Very cool. Snowball says, currently purging my Funko Pop collection. That's got to be worth some money.
Yeah. You're getting rid of it? Craig is sanding a 3D printed Halo helmet for his son's Halloween costume and listening. That's cool. What size 3D printer do you have that's big enough that you can print a helmet?
Brick Rehab says, can I borrow Paul? This bulk has a lot of Bionicle. Unfortunately, I don't know that much about Bionicle. I didn't actually have... I may have had 1 or 2 Bionicles, but not very many. But I guess I do have some experience cataloging Bionicle. 40 people are watching right now. Why is it always
40
these
people.
streams?
Yeah, you know, so when we do something like Part Out, we usually get a few people. I mean, 40 is a good number, but like usually we'll get between 30 and 40 for a few minutes, and then it always drops down to like 27, 25. We're doing nothing right now besides talking to you, and Paul's stickering drawers, hopefully correctly, so the barcode lines up with the front. And I am consolidating, and I don't know why you guys find this entertaining, but I appreciate it. Chris, welcome to the stream. Craig says the Ender 3v2. Interesting. That's pretty big. Is it? I assume it's not a resin-based. I assume it's a PCL, not PCL. That's something else. PLC, PLC.
TLC.
No, PLC-based. I think. Anyway, yeah, 40 people. Pretty crazy. Yeah, Chris, welcome to the stream. And whoever else I missed. Snowball, I don't think we ever said welcome. Monkman, welcome, if we didn't say welcome. Lego Bricks BE, welcome to the
PLA,
stream.
Craig says.
PLA, that's what it is. PCL is a totally separate thing. I had on this. Snowball says, I'm downsizing my Funko Pop collection because once you find out you collect Pops, they give you random ones and they don't fit in the collection. Ah, interesting. Are you selling those or just getting rid of them? Just Brick says, I'd say go to Magic Mountain for Fright Fest, but I think it'd be crowded and a mess. Justin, welcome to the stream. Justin says, hey guys, do you think that Bricklink is too saturated with sellers? Is it viable to start up a new store? That's a great question. I think there's a lot of people who are doing it as a hobby. And if you're doing it as a hobby, and you're not with, looking at it as with the expectation of making a ton of money, and maybe it's only going to help fund your Lego hobby, and you can buy a set here and there or whatever, I think at that point it's totally worth it. If you're looking to start up a new store and run it as a business, I think you just need to go in with the expectation that it's going to be a year or so before you start to probably see making money, and it's going to take a significant investment to get into it. I probably would not say it's too saturated with sellers. There are a lot, but I think there's also a lot of buyers who are constantly in need of something else, and depending even though your store is one of thousands of stores on the platform, there's probably something that you have or you will do that draws a buyer to you. So yeah, there's definitely a lot, but I don't think it's too saturated. And again, I think it depends how you're looking at it, as a hobbyist versus a business owner.
And the larger your store, the higher percentage that you will succeed because of how wanted lists work, and just people work. They'd rather go to one store and buy everything than go to 6 stores.
Yeah.
So if they can just go to your store, they're going to find you because the wanted list will push them over to you. Lego Bricks asks, how many drawers do we have?
We have, Paul, what are you numbering right now? 6,200 something. We don't quite have that many. We have 2 columns, 256, so 500. We have about 5,500 drawers, roughly, give or take a couple hundred or something. Yeah, probably about 5,500. We have more on the way. In this garage, comfortably, without us rearranging some things, we can fit over 9,000 drawers in here. So that's the plan, about 9,000 drawers before we leave. We might end up squishing more in here though if we need to, but we'll see.
Justin asks, do we ever purchase specific parts to fill a vacancy? No.
Not necessarily, no. But we'll buy a set on purpose because it has certain parts that look like it'll sell. But yeah, if we run out of something, no. And maybe it was you. Someone also asked in a question in a comment that I haven't responded to yet. Do you go to other Brickling stores and buy new parts that are cheaper to list them in your store? And no, because it's very hard to find them cheap enough where it makes sense to list them in our store and pay shipping and stuff. So no, we have not done that. Snowball says selling them at 60 to 70% off what they're worth. That's smart if you don't want them. Craig says, I agree, but the past 2 months of my sales have been new, 0 feedback customers.
Wait.
Yeah, we get a few customers a month that are 0 feedback, that are brand new. So there's always new people being added to the inventory, I think. And this kind of goes in with Christian's question. Says, I'm on my way to bed. It's 11:30 p.m. here in Denmark. I'm just contemplating if I should quit my job and start a Bricklink business and slow down my life a bit. How many hours do you work per week? I would say if you need to quit your job in order to start a Bricklink business, that's probably a bad decision.
Yeah,
unless
you've got 3 years of savings plus whatever you're going to have to invest.
Right.
So.
I would say start the business or start the Bricklink thing as a side thing and put in 25 hours a week here and there until you can grow it up. If you've seen Pop's Block Shop's channel, he did this. He worked a full-time job and stuff, but in his free time over the past 2.5, 3 years now maybe, has grown this store. And finally, I think this past summer or sometime in summer, he took it full-time and he quit his job and he does Bricklink / Brickowl / eBay / like conventions full-time. He resells Lego and other things. But I would say don't quit your job until you're confident that it's making enough money that it could support you. Yeah, I would say no. And how many hours per week? This week, probably close to 40 each.
It really varies. We go in phases where there'll be a few weeks back to back where sometimes we'll work over 40, and then there will be like a month period where we kind of start going down, and then there will be like 2 weeks where we work like less than 20 hours and we're like, oh no, we need to get back to the store.
Yeah, we made a mistake.
And then we turn around and go into the crazy phase where we do a lot of hours.
Go back to 45 to 50, 60 hours a week each or something.
And we kind of just do that cycle. It'd probably be way smarter to just
balance it.
But neither of us really operate like that. We're both kind of crisis people in a way. So
yeah, don't. I think I would suggest it's a terrible decision to quit your job without knowing that Bricklink or whatever you're doing is able to pay for itself and for you to continue living.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say slow down your life to do that, but it's up to you. Obviously, that's your call, but I would say don't do that. Yeah. Mowgli's Brick says, I 100% agree that Bricklink is not saturated with sellers. Stores are so different in what parts they have. Fidel says, found tons of Vidu bandmates, 50% off. Would you argue that they are good to buy part out? I'm a bit biased because I want to collect their 2x2 tiles. If you want their tiles, take their tiles. I don't know, though, what that is specifically well enough to say 50% off is going to be a good deal or not. So I'm sorry. Do you? The Vidu, yeah, I don't know what those are. Do you ever purchase specific parts? No. Gaza Brick Store, welcome to the stream. 45 people watching. What is going on?
It's the chow and chats and
is all your stock new and used in drawers? I'm not exactly sure what.
I think he's asking whether we have stock just laying around. Not that's been indexed. We try, once something has been cataloged, we try to get it in the inventory as fast as we can. And it's either stored in drawers. We have some bins, but there are not multiple parts per bin. The bins are for things that can't fit in drawers. We have some trays, but we're trying to get rid of those and get those into drawers.
But if you were asking if we put new and used in the same drawer, we do. We don't mix. We don't touch the pieces, but they can go in the same drawer.
We have dividers so that they don't interact.
Justin says, yes, that was me. Okay, cool. Lego Brick BE says, will you buy a warehouse?
Buy? Probably not.
Yeah, I don't think buy is a viable thing here. So rent is the answer. In the future, who knows? You know, years down the road, that could be something I guess we look into. But very unlikely it would be in Southern California if we were to actually purchase.
Yeah.
Rent is even a little difficult here, but is doable. Purchase, probably not. Steve says, buying stock to fill voids. Sorry, my cursor's in the way. Buying stock to fill voids is good if you monitor parts that are cheap on Lego bricks and pieces and sell. I keep a database of frequent sellers and keep them stocked. That's pretty smart. Craig says, get to the point where the store pays for itself first. I assume that was in reference to Christian.
Quitting your job,
yeah. Chris says, I work 80 hours a week running a store and an IT career job. Yeah, similar here in terms of hours. Probably, yeah, around there in terms of being in here. If I'm in here for 40 hours, 50 hours in here a week, I'm definitely spending the rest of my time working outside of here as well. Hey guys, Chris is hiring. Chris has an open position at his store. Want to move to Illinois? I don't think so.
I'm not really in the mood.
Sorry, Chris.
I'd love to come visit, though.
Yeah, visiting would be awesome, but a permanent move, I don't think so. But actually, we should do something. That'd be fun. Let me...
Going out to visit?
Yeah, well, maybe we'll reach out to you at some point to figure something out. Probably not before the end of this year, but something else. Snowball says, do you guys do sales? We do occasionally do sales. Our last sale was probably the beginning of September for probably 2 days over the weekend. We've talked about a potential Halloween sale. We'll see if we end up doing that or not. But currently, sales are relatively steady. So I don't know if, usually a sale is like, okay, we want to make sure we bump this month. Technically, we not lose money, but we don't make as much money on a sale. So we'll see if we continue to do a lot of sales. But we'll probably do some sort of Black Friday sale, of course. And maybe a few more here and there, but we don't do them often. I'd say probably from now moving forward, maybe 5 to 6 times per year or so.
Now that said, occasionally individual pieces.
Yeah, individual
will go on
pieces,
sale.
if they're 3 years old and they're in our inventory and we have like a gajillion of them, yeah, we'll adjust some individual prices occasionally.
And that said, if you want to buy out like the 1,000+ piece things, like we have like dark orange masonry bricks, we have like 3,000 of them and stuff. If you want to buy all of them, please send us an email. We can probably work something out. But yeah.
Chris says, love the idea. Yeah, that'd be fun. Lego bricks BE. I have no clue how to answer that question. Do you know how many different amounts of parts there are in the world? I have no clue. I'm sure you could look it up, and it's probably more than there are people in the world. Actually, I know it is. There's like a number per person of Lego pieces in the world. I think you can look it up. Actually,
the amount. Sorry, I thought it was talking about the diversity, because we know how many lots there are. But pieces total, I have no idea. Funbrick says, how's the labeling going? Are you adding more used parts?
So there are over 400 billion Lego bricks that have been produced in the world. That is crazy. It's a lot of pieces.
But we are, well, this instant we're not adding used, but we are still continuing to add used as a business practice.
Was there a question on that?
Yeah, Funbrick. Oh. How's the labeling going? Are you adding more used?
Oh, yeah.
Now, right now we are doing basically nothing.
Yeah, Brick Rehab says, hard to imagine that Lego would outpay my nursing job. Yep, I think you're right on that one. Lego Bricks BE says, do you know how many... Oh, I entered that one. NK's Brick World. Don't quit your job. I do 40-hour full-time and maintaining my 175,000 parts in the store from Australia. Welcome to the stream. I don't think you... Maybe you were here, but you didn't chat. Fidel says, I bought Technic stuff from you during a sale to help you out and increase my inventory. And someone almost immediately bought... Oh, nice. Someone almost immediately bought everything from that order, so it turned out great. That's really good. Yeah, that's super good.
Fantastic.
Ycode, welcome to the stream. Ycode says, hi, what do you think is a decent amount of money to start for a Lego business to start selling parts? We had this similar question last week.
It's a really hard question.
My essential number was at least $1,000. But I don't even truly know that that's the right number. And it fluctuates based on what your plans are and how you're going to store things and where you're located and what deals you're able to get on Lego and if you're doing used or if you're doing new. I mean, there's so many
And also
things.
just how far you want to jump ahead. I mean, you could be on one end of the extreme, like Doug. I have absolutely no idea how much he has spent, but...
I don't think Doug knows how much he's spent.
Yeah,
welcome, by the way, Doug, to the stream. I see
welcome, Doug. But it's got to be... you know, mid to high 5 digits, or you could be someone who buys 3 sets, and technically, theoretically, both of those stores could reach the same size. It's just one person is going to start much closer to their goal than the other person, so it really depends. But I'm trying to think of like, I don't know, maybe how much do you think?
I think one more thing to check on is if you want to do it as a business or a hobby.
Yeah.
And how quickly you want to grow. If you want to do it as a business, then you should expect some sort of I would say, decent initial investment. If you're just looking to play around in it and help fund your thing, you could probably do a lot less. But I think it totally depends what, and Brick Rehab says, I disagree. $1,000 is a huge investment. Start small, like $100 just to get your feet wet. That's an option too, and that's what I did. I probably spent less than $100 very initially. Bought a thing on eBay, like a used lot of Lego, and listed it, and bought a couple Acromills drawers, and then just a few shipping supplies and stuff. And that's how I learned the majority of it, and how I learned what plates and bricks and all that kind of stuff was. So you can definitely do it for cheaper.
And I mean, that's actually a good point, is maybe getting a very small, manageable amount so you can learn how a store works. And then, in kind of a second stage, put in more capital after you've decided this is something you can actually do. But yeah, I mean, it really just depends on how long you want to wait until you get a return and what kind of a return you want. If you just want to be making like $100 a month off of it, you know, you can probably invest a pretty low number and give it a year, and you can be doing that. If you want to be making enough, you know, to buy a fancy car or something, it's going to be, you know, a lot more upfront investment and a lot more
also
time,
a lot of
so,
work.
Yeah.
So this is not a get-rich-quick thing whatsoever, not even close.
Justin Devry asks, do you find lots of used Lego on eBay have value? I imagine the seller fished out parts and figures of higher value. That does happen sometimes, but in terms of the fishing, I would say that's possibly rarer. It really depends on the buyer, but the thing is, a lot of the eBay lots, at least the people that do it professionally, they charge through the roof.
Well, and you get your free, I mean, you pay for shipping, but it's free shipping included. And I think a lot of it, the shipping costs so much too. That's why that price has to be hiked up.
Like, what our rule is, we do not buy used for more than $5 a pound, and it's very difficult to find used
on eBay.
eBay for $5 a pound. So I would say probably not, but that depends on where you are in the world, how much you can sell for, and stuff like that. Christian asks, would you consider adding purchases to your monthly report so we can see what your profit margin is? I totally understand if you feel it is too sensitive information. Yeah, no problem for asking. There's nothing wrong with asking most questions. But
we're not doing that.
Yeah, we're not going to do that. But yeah, don't feel guilty for asking once, especially I haven't really seen you around too much, so.
There's a lot of people who have asked that question, and they want there's always those comments where like, it's cool to see these numbers but useless because we can't figure out actually how much you can make. And yeah, that's true, but that's also kind of the concept to an extent.
Yeah.
Like,
I have said privately, this is my personal opinion, Evan and I have not agreed on this, that at some point far into the future, you know, 5 years or something, we may release historical records for like our first year, right? Just so people can see that initial growth period. But that's not something that I'm promising or anything. That's just my personal opinion, and it's a cooperative venture, so we'd both have to agree on that, and my opinion may change. But I would say that you should not expect to make a profit within your first 12 months if you are running it in a similar way.
Yeah, at least, especially because that's what the concept that hopefully, I guess it depends how big you want to grow, but you know, almost every single dollar that comes into your store in theory should go back into your store within the first year to continue growing. At least that's my opinion of it. And others, you know, might have different opinions and stuff, but I think you shouldn't expect to see a direct return anywhere in the first year, honestly, potentially even year 2, especially probably depending how much money you put in initially. Yeah, if you put in only a little bit, then it's going to be very slow. Yeah. If you put in a ton, it might be a quicker
And it also
return.
Really depends on what you're okay with. The reason why I said a year is that you could probably theoretically get some profit out of it if you just kind of stop where you are. But it's just going to be a little bit of side income and possibly not worth your hours. But there probably will be some dollars left over. Mm-hmm. Maybe even 100 plus. But I would say probably, you know, I don't really know. I don't really remember. But, you know, if you really want to make a living off of it, it's going to be a lot longer than that. So
absolutely.
And especially if you want to reach to a point where your monthly is paying back the time that you weren't being paid, it's gonna be a long time.
Yeah, you need to dedicate a lot of time that you expect to not get paid.
Yeah.
Steve says, I would actually say that the majority of my used stock has come via eBay lots.
Really?
That's very good. I think David West also finds a few on eBay that he gets.
Yeah.
Lego Bricks BE says, how much is your store worth? That is also a question we're not going to currently answer.
Yeah.
It's changing all the time. Obviously, we're adding more and more, but also stuff is selling. But I'd prefer not to share that information with you. I don't know if that's actually important. Currently I'm going to go with no. You probably couldn't. Maybe you could look up how much is worth in a Target retail store or something. I don't know.
If someone took the time to actually crunch those numbers,
I guess if you really want to,
you could figure it out.
Yeah, you could figure it out. But
the information exists, but it's not worth your time.
And I'm really curious.
Well, I'm not saying that in terms of because I don't. Well, I mean, obviously, I don't necessarily want you to know that information, but that's not why I'm saying that. I'm saying it's not worth your time because what you could do with that information is quite limited. Mm-hmm. Better is looking at the part and piece count. The piece and lot count in order to figure out how a store can grow over time. Because the only thing I could really see in figuring out the worth of a store is figuring out its growth over time. But the piece and part count is going to be, the lot and piece count is going to honestly be a much better
not the piece
tell of that.
Yeah. Y-Code asks a good question, and it's something that I will have to think about for a moment, but I kind of thought about it while Paul was talking. Says, what do you think is a realistic monthly earning, not win, if you invest $20,000 in Lego sets? Do you sell stuff around $1,000 a month, more or less? Now, I'm going to assume that you've actually invested closer to $25,000 in your entire store because you need some way to store it. You need shipping materials. You need, tons of things. So I'm going to assume you're saying $20,000 specifically in new Lego sets that will be parted out, I think. I'm assuming that as well. That, in theory, means you have about a $60,000 inventory. I would expect that you could probably do $3,000 to $4,000 a month.
Not in profit, though.
Not in profit, like you said, in monthly earnings. I would say you could do $3,000 to $4,000 in revenue, potentially per month, depending if you have enough lots and stuff variety, if you were smart with how you bought those pieces. Now, if you go buy $20,000 worth of retail Lego sets and your inventory is actually only worth $30,000, and you have less variety and stuff, I'd say then that's a less realistic number. But you said $1,000 a month. I would say more than $1,000 a month if you're smart with how you invest that 20 grand in Lego sets. But that's a lot of money to invest initially. I would probably go along the lines of saying that's too much.
Well,
but maybe not.
I would say it's too much if you cannot add that quickly.
Right. Yeah, maybe if you say, okay, I'm going to invest $5,000 in Lego sets this month, and then you add those $5,000 worth of sets, $15,000 hopefully worth of inventory over the course of 3 weeks or maybe the whole month. Well, now you have a $15,000 inventory. Maybe you're going to do $500 in sales. So the following month, you're investing your own money, $4,500, but you're spending $5,000 worth of money or something. But $500 was already recouped from the month before. Mm-hmm. In theory, by that, you're making maybe $30,000. Now you're making maybe $2,000 a month after that.
And I'd like to say that a lot of those figures are based. We've tried to create a spreadsheet to kind of try and predict some of those numbers, and it has not always. I will preface this by saying that spreadsheet has not always been accurate based off of how we projected our figures would be in the future.
Yeah. And
what they are. So do take that as a pretty hefty plus or minus.
Yeah. And then on top of that, if you're, don't do 20,000 at once unless you have the manpower to divide the 20,000, within a month or so, or I'd say you're maybe not wasting money, but you're holding on to money. Obviously, if those sets are such a good deal that you have to spend the money now because tomorrow they're not going to be there, then maybe it is worth it if they sit for a month while you're, doing other things to part them out. But think about everything,
Basically, if it's on a shelf, it's not making money. So.
Yeah, so we have probably close to 20,000 plus, maybe more than that actually, of inventory that's not yet processed, sitting in new. Oh, more than that actually. We'll just say 20,000.
I was looking at you like,
we'll just say maybe $20,000, but more than that pounds, hundreds of pounds of used Lego that's sitting, not even sorted yet, and then like
minifigs.
300 pounds. We have a lot. But 300 plus pounds of things that are sitting to the side that's sorted, that needs to be cataloged. Nothing sitting cataloged that's not in yet, so that's good, I guess. But new sets sitting there still, lots of minifigs. So, yeah, if it's sitting, it's not making money. We're very good at letting things sit.
But that said, it costs money to make things not sit as well, because there's too much for us to do. So we have to hire people to do it.
Right, yeah.
And that costs money. So we need that capital in order to do that. But we spent some of that capital on getting stuff. So make sure you do not fall into that trap of spending a ton of money on inventory without taking the labor costs of that inventory.
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, I'm not going to say how much we spend and stuff, but each week we get about 30 pounds of used Lego. Sometimes more, sometimes less. But we'll say on average 30 pounds. I think that's safe to say. Average 30. In theory, that means that we should be able to process with one cataloger and Paul close to 40 pounds a week. We're not, but that would help to get through our backlog and stuff. But then we're paying to get things sorted, and after, well, first you pay for the Lego, then you pay to get it sorted, then you pay, I mean, we do, you can do it however you want, but then we pay to get it cataloged, and then we actually add it. And technically we are paying ourselves to add it. So it costs a lot to get a piece in. That's why the margins on used are not crazy. Like, they sound insane. Initially, you're like, whoa, this bin is worth,
because it's
right. Labor here's a little more.
You have to take the motivation factor.
Right, but it sounds like the margin is crazy. It's it's still better than new, I think, unless you get a really good deal on new. But it is a different. Yeah. You're spending a lot more before you start to see that money. So that's something to think about, I guess.
Our source sorts, filters his stuff. We get a deal on it because of that, but he does pull out some stuff. And so it is possible that we could be making more if he did not do that. But then again, we are also paying less, so I'm not exactly certain on that. But like, for example, there's always a statistically significant percentage that a given 30 pounds could have something worth what you paid for it. Well, a couple things worth what you paid for it, you know, rather than the whole thing.
Right.
So,
and if you've seen, I don't know if David is still here, but his channel, he kind of did something, I don't know, maybe a week or two ago now, where he posted a little video where he took, I think it was like a 20-pound box of Lego. He just ruffled through it, and he paid $58 or something for the box with shipping. Ruffled through it, pulled out the things that he thought was worth it, and then he made like a $250 BSX file and uploaded that in a couple hours. And now, in theory, if those pieces sell, the box is paid for, and he still goes and sends that to his sorters and then catalogers and gets that all done. But I got a lot of chat here. There's 51 people watching. You guys are crazy because we're really not doing a ton. You know, Lego Bricks BE asked a hard question. What are you going to do when you reach 5,000 subs? We haven't quite figured that one out yet. Obviously, 1,000 subs, we tried to do a really cool big stream. That was a ton of fun. We'll see if we have time for and when we're in the range of hitting that 5,000 mark, but we'll do something. I just don't know what it is yet. Richard brings up a good rule. It says, I just go by the 3 times rule. For parting new sets out, that's pretty much how we go to. Occasionally a little bit lower, but if it's a 3 times part out value, it's very likely that it's going to be worth it, unless it's like a ton of pieces that just are never going to sell, in which case you just have to take a look at Bricklink and figure that one out. Justin says, do you ever hold on to a sealed set of what you plan to part out to potentially sell further down the line at a higher profit? No, we do not invest in sets like people say, where they just hold a set and leave it to the side. Honestly, we don't have the space or the ability to take care of a box for that long of a period of time.
Yeah.
So it's worth it for us to just continue the specific little sliver of the Lego business reselling part that we're doing, which is parting things out. But in the future, who knows? Can we see your unlisted minifigs? Not right now. They're all boxed away. But yeah, it'd be a pain to get them out. A lot of them, in all honesty, are not actual minifigs, which is very unfortunate.
Yeah.
You know, going through and trying to figure out what they are and typing in the torso or pop it up on Bricklink or whatever, it's never, I mean, it is sometimes, but very rarely is it actually the right pieces, and then sometimes I'm pulling heads apart and stuff trying to figure out what it should be.
Now, there may be, if you go watch our vlogs, I'm sure we've showed them off at some
there's
point.
a lot of footage in the last
So it's not
vlog.
like we're hiding them from
That's
you.
probably
It's
why
just
you asked the question, because
yeah.
But there's so many unlisted figs. There's no unlisted figs that are cataloged in a file.
Yeah.
Once I put them in a file, if by the end of that day, those are going to be uploaded for sure. They don't really sit. But currently, if they're unlisted, we have hundreds of minifigs that are not listed or that need to be pulled apart for pieces or whatever because they're all wrong. Adam says, who's David's channel? David West, his channel. He does Lego stuff as well. If you search David West...
He was also here earlier, so you could...
I don't think you can click anymore. You might be able to, but I don't. Yeah, search David West Lego. Yeah, he comes up. David West Lego. If you search his channel, he has a few videos, and one of them was him sorting out that bin. David Eck, sorry. Crazy thing that you just said. Yeah. I started a Brickling store last month with 200,000 new parts. First of all, crazy to start out with that number. And then you said sold 36,000 parts, currently at 216,000. So you're continuing to add and sold a lot. So congratulations, that is really awesome. Yeah, and was that all, started the store last month, 200,000 parts, sold 36,000. Was that all on Bricklink? Or was that a mix of Brick Owl and Bricklink and maybe eBay as well? With minifigs or something. But new parts, I don't know. Maybe that's just Bricklink, but just curious. Fidel says, have you ever parted out Lego sets besides the world map? Oh, Lego art sets.
Goodbye,
we have
Christian.
not. Sorry. We have not. No, goodbye. Have a good evening. Thank you for tuning in, and thanks for all your questions. No, we have not parted out the Lego art sets, Fidel. Daniel, welcome to the stream. Jason says, sorting while listening to you. Have so many parts? How many have too many sets to part out? Yeah, we've been there before, for sure.
Only Bricklink, he says.
Nice. Only Bricklink. That's pretty amazing.
Are you planning on using Brick Freedom or something to jump onto Brick Owl as well?
Brick Brothers Brick Shop says the more minifigs you add, the better they'll sell. Of course.
Yeah.
We're trying. It's a slow process, to be honest.
Yeah.
To go through and figure out what each one is. Especially when a lot of them are city figs, it kind of makes it feel just like it's not worth it. Because the city figs are only like $1.50. And then occasionally you'll get that like Ninjago fig or Star Wars or Indiana Jones or something, or Harry Potter, and it pops up and it's like $4.50. It's like, oh, sweet. Jamie says, just wanted to say you guys are amazing and a real inspiration. Just opened my new store, Never Miss a Brick. Cool name. And really appreciate all your insight. Well, congratulations on opening your store.
Thank you.
It's really exciting, and thank you for all the kind words. Did you say thank you to me?
No, I was saying thank you to him. I just happened to be looking in your direction.
Okay, gotcha. Christian, I think left, right? Yeah. Jason said never sold any, just parted out. Daniel said we reached 100,000 parts today after 3 months. Nice. That's exciting. 8,700 lots. Very good per piece count to lot count ratio there. David West, Adam, yes, David West. Funberry Creation says, oh no, he went to sleep. Funberry Creation says, wow, today there are a lot of people in the stream. Was today's stream a once off for starting earlier than usual, or is it the new time for stream starting?
It was once off, but there's a lot of people here, so.
Yeah, this could be the new.
The people that are watching but not chatting.
Oh, yeah.
If you're willing to expose yourself to the masses, what caused you to click on this versus other streams we've done in the past? Or did the recommendation... Yeah, was it time?
It could be the time slot.
Did the recommendation wizard just likes the title of this? Or
I don't know. Working in the store live, doing small tasks while we talk to you. I think that's what it's called. Something like that.
You never know.
Yeah. Fidel says, I found some art sets, 50%. Okay. 50% off is pretty good. With the art set, we did part out the world map, and it did add 12,000 parts or whatever, but I haven't seen a ton of them sell. Yeah. Actually, the base plate things, a lot of those sold already. Some tiles have sold. I picked a ton of blue ones the other day. Oh, those green ones sold. Yeah, okay, they're going here and there, I guess. Which I guess isn't terrible, but... Bradshaw Studio, welcome to the stream. How are you? It's been a little while, I think. Thanks for tuning in. David says, I bought my first part from you back in June to get approved by Bricklink. Thank you. Thank you
JB
for your purchase.
says, I like the talking streams. You have more opportunity to interact with chat. It's fun.
Interesting. Okay. Yeah, because we've been trying over the past few weeks to have more productive streams where we are doing things productive. Today Paul numbered some drawers and I moved some drawers remarks around, but not super productive. But I guess it is good that we're able to talk and interact and stuff, which is cool. Bradshaw Studios says, good, doing well. Cool. Well, how far are we in? An hour and 10 minutes. From Brickrig says, okay, 9 a.m. here Sunday so far. So that's another thing, I guess. In Australia, if we start an hour earlier, it's an hour earlier in their day. In Europe, it's an hour earlier in their nighttime. So it's like, yeah, there's a weird balance. I don't know. 2 o'clock wasn't terrible to start.
No. It does kind of end the day an hour earlier, though.
It does.
Getting back to work after a stream is so hard.
Yeah.
So
usually for a while, I think we did streams at like 6 p.m. and then it moved to 4. And then we moved it to 3, and we've stuck with 3 for quite a while now.
I don't know. It's just Saturday is kind of the rush before our. Well, no, you come in Monday. My weekend is Sunday, Monday, and your weekend is usually Sunday. So,
although
Saturday
the past few weeks I've been in here every single day.
Yeah,
I don't really have a weekend.
Saturday is kind of, but even then, I feel like for both of us, Saturday is kind of rushing to get stuff done before the stream.
Definitely, yeah. It's like I want to do all these things, but I can't do it unlimited until I feel like I'm done because there is a stream we have to do. Or at other times, oh my gosh, the shutter is like way off. Sorry if it's all weird in terms of motion. It looks weird over there.
Today was an exception, but I usually feel like Saturday mornings are very productive.
Yeah, yeah, because there is a lot of like, okay, we have to finish this before we stream.
Yeah.
And moving that stream up to 2 does get rid of close to an hour. And it's not like we start at 2, it's like we start at
1:15.
Yeah, we start about 45 minutes early just so we can set up the camera and stuff and get a thumbnail up and take a small break before we have to be in front of the camera for 2 hours or whatever it is. So I don't know, maybe we'll move it up, but it's a little in the way to an extent.
Yeah.
But who knows? Remember, Krishna, starting an hour earlier is fine with me, as it means 8 a.m. for me. And your time change, it's even. That's true. We have a time change in a couple weeks here. Steve says you'll probably find you hitting more because of the world. More of the world is awake. Yeah, that's true. So who knows? Maybe this is a thing we might start doing. If next week it starts at 2, then
we'll see. Yeah.
Maybe that's a
I don't know.
Signal that it
We're also just trying to figure out other stuff to do during streams as well, because why we kind of started doing the productivity stuff is, no offense to our subscribers, I don't want to sound like I'm e-begging for money here, but the streams, they don't generate a ton of revenue, so we like to be doing something productive at the same time we're doing this, so at least this is billable time. We don't clock out before we start the stream, so it's nice if we're helping the store at the same time. So we've just been trying to think of entertaining things that are also helping the store.
Yeah.
So that this isn't just kind of lost hours.
But sometimes it's fun to have lost hours. So.
Yeah, it is. The challenge chats are always fun.
Whatever you, like, I think maybe, I don't know what we can do, but like put out a poll or something as to what people want to see on a stream. And as long as it's not incredibly difficult and it takes hours to set up ahead of time or whatever, because when that does, then it is bumping into store time. But yeah, just trying to figure out what else we can do on stream. So maybe maybe we'll put something out to see what you guys want to see. I don't know exactly how we'd get that information, but yeah. Fidel says do it as an experiment. So figure out if the hour is better or was today just a coincidence. Today was just a coincidence. I need to leave at like 4, so yeah. We just needed to.
I was supposed to clock out. Well, I guess it's Saturday. I work longer here on Saturday.
Yeah, but.
And I did not. Today was an exception to the productivity rule.
Why?
My goal was to get through at least one of those Technic bins.
You didn't do any? Well,
I didn't even open Brick Store.
Really? What did you do? Just sorted?
I started sorting and then we got off task trying to work out we got off task and made this stupid org chart thing, but.
All right. Phone Creation says, I think you could do a poll in the community tab. We could do a poll, but that means I have to come up with the ideas and make options. So I need you guys to give me the ideas.
Yeah.
But maybe we'll do some sort of a community post and stuff.
Or we could just litter the video with ads.
Do2Bricks or Doug says, and you don't want to do something where you can make a mistake or can't concentrate on the stream. That's true.
Yeah.
That's why parting out, like, it's easy when we're sorting the pieces, but when we get to the upload phase, it gets difficult because there are then two things to focus on. We need to make sure we have the right count of pieces in the drawer, we're scanning the right drawer, and then it's also trying to chat.
Yeah.
So a lot of the focus
And
has to go away.
Same thing with cataloging. I especially with a difficult category, I just don't trust myself to catalog like Technic or minifig parts.
Right, properly.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's very inefficient. Steve says doing collabs might help with productivity because you would split the load, allowing more productivity without losing viewer focus. That's true. Funberg Creations says, or just make a simple post and ask for the comments with ideas. That's probably what it's going to be. Yeah, 44 people still watching. That is crazy. Wow. Are there any more questions and stuff? I think we're getting... We have finished our 2 tasks.
Where did you find that?
It was on the table. I don't know. It just like
I
was
feel
on
like
the table.
that's the one we've been missing for quite some time, hasn't it?
I don't know. Maybe. But yeah, if there's any more questions or anything, if not, I think we're going to get towards wrapping it up here since there's not a whole lot more. But yeah, if there's any more tasks or questions.
Hello, Dr. Professor Kabinski. Thank you. It's been a long time since I've seen you. But unfortunately, we are about to wrap it up.
Yeah, we're getting close. But Jason says, do you think it should be or not to be have friend sets for parts?
If you're asking whether or not you should buy friends sets, my
yes,
hard
actually
answer,
you should.
Okay.
You should. It was worth it. But don't buy 16. That's terrible. Dr. Professor Kabinski, he's proud of you because you've lost some weight for sure.
Yes, thank you. 50 pounds.
Nice. Fidel says, do some flowcharts for your different processes and analyze them. That's exactly what we've been doing, actually.
Yeah, that's what we were doing this morning.
Oh, then decide better one to do while streaming. Yeah.
Maybe. We'd have to like review ahead of time because that's our trade secrets.
Oh, I think he was saying make a flowchart of our different processes that we're doing
while
while
like
streaming.
a lecture.
No. I think he just said we need to go analyze which one is the best thing to do while streaming. I think that's what he said.
Okay.
But we wouldn't make our little flowchart thing in the stream. Funberg Creation says, now time for me to catch up on your vlog this week. I think this week's vlog was kind of fun. Maybe not, though. I don't know.
I haven't watched it.
I think the minifigs were interesting, but maybe not. Just Brick says metric or imperial.
I wish it was metric, but unfortunately, it's imperial.
Wait, what are we referencing?
What measurement system do you prefer?
Oh, is that just a question? Oh.
Yeah.
Metric's better, but we use imperial in the United States, so that's what I'm
So I don't know enough about
I mean,
metric.
so do you, I think, right? Jason says, yes, thanks. Perfect. We answered your question. Yelma says, is there a way to look up parts from your wanted list in your own store? I think so. Actually, I think I can figure that out. If there... Maybe not, actually. Let me check. If not, you can always... Yeah, hold on. Let me check. Yeah, if you click the shop button in your store when you're viewing your store and you click like the shop tab, there's shop terms, feedback, splash, whatever you have there. Click shop and then it might say featured, all items, newest. Just click the wanted list. When you click there, it'll then you'll have your wanted lists on the left side, and then you can actually see what you have in your store. And then like if you want, you can just remove that from your inventory to purchase it from yourself or whatever. Do2Brick says, and you don't want to do something where you could make a mistake or can't concentrate on the stream. Exactly. Yeah. Fidel says a road between Nogales and Tucson uses metric. Oh, right. That's the one road I think.
Interesting.
Yeah. I've heard about that. I think it's like specifically the one road that does that. Funberg Creation says I mainly use metric, but I do understand imperial as well. Don't know what Steve said. Oh, on the inventory screen there it is. Fidel says weird, maybe unique in the whole country. Yes, important. I forgot. Should you sell your new minifigure together or part out? That's 50, a good 50. Question. Yeah, it's up to you. But if you only have one, probably just sell the minifig. If you have like 2 or 3, then maybe part one out, keep a couple, or part 2 out, keep one. If you have a ton, definitely part some out. But like Paul just said, or check the value. If it's city figs, might not sell. If it's only sold 12 times in the past 6 months, probably just part it out and you're going to have a few pieces sell, which is worth it more than that fig sitting in a bin and never selling. So it just depends, but yeah. What? Oh.
No, I have to look
You
over
ever look
the
over
camera.
the camera? Oh, that's inconvenient. Sorry. Okay, 34 people still here. Thank you guys to everyone who's been tuned in and stuff. I think we're wrapping it up, though. We're out of things to do. David says sell minifigs on eBay. That's another tip. Minifigs will sell a lot more on eBay, especially if they're popular minifigs.
Yeah.
If they're not popular minifigs like city ones, I don't know that those will actually sell necessarily better on eBay. But Star Wars and that stuff will definitely sell better, and you can probably make more money. Actually, you can make more money, for sure. So that's a good tip. Cool.
All right,
thank you,
guys.
everyone. For those of everyone who was here, lots of people, actually. And we will see you in the next stream and in this week's videos. So thank you, and we'll see you later.
Goodbye.